Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi and good evening. In this series of videos, we'll be looking at of access through hands-on exam. Okay, so to start off, we will open up Microsoft Access. Okay, so just type in the search bar at the bottom of Windows. Type in access. Okay, all right. So when the program opens up, it gives you option to create a new blank database or choose any of the template or open up a certain document. So in our example, we will straight away open a new blank database. So click on blank database, and so for the first lesson, let's find a suitable place, a suitable folder to store your database. So just look at a suitable folder. So I'm going to name this database as student DB. All right, student database. All right, and after we've named, after we've chosen the appropriate folder and name our file, our database, then we click on create. Okay, so this is the interface of Microsoft Access when we first create our database. Okay, so the typical tabs, okay, on Microsoft Access, but most of the tabs will be new tabs that we have not seen before, like create external data, database tools. These are not common tabs in other Microsoft programs. Okay, but we have the home tab, and then we, of course, each tab will have a ribbon and the groups, okay, the function groups. Okay, and then a section on the left which lists your main database elements, objects in your database. So currently, this the database, you will have one table, and that table is same as table 1. Okay, and then in the middle here, this is the working space. Okay, on the left is the list of objects you have, and then in the middle, right to the right, all the way to the right, is the working space. Okay, so the working space will show you a number of views. Okay, at the moment, looking at table 1, and this is the view, the datasheet view, because the datasheet view of a table, it looks exactly like a table. It has columns and it has 4 main objects inside tables, and then queries, and then the forms, and then the reports. Okay, the tables will be the core objects inside a database. Okay, everything is about tables inside database. Okay, so the tables will be related to each other. Data is stored in tables. When we want to produce reports, we extract data from the tables. When we create a form to enter our data, the data that we enter into our form will be stored inside the tables. Okay, when we will do query, we will ask certain questions from our database. It will extract data from the tables. Okay, so tables are the main component inside our data. Okay, so besides the datasheet view, you can also look at other views. Okay, let's just for the thing. Okay, let's save this table first. Okay, let's save this table. Okay, by clicking the save button on the left corner, it will save whatever work with, especially the ones that in the middle part of the application. Okay, click on save, and then it will ask us what we're going to save it as. So at the moment we are editing table 1. That automatic, whenever we open a new database, it will automatically open the table 1. Okay, so let's save this table 1 as students. Okay, so in this particular example, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a database regarding students, what courses do they take, and the grades that they achieve for those courses. All right, so we're going to talk about this database later on. Okay, at the moment, let's save this first table as students, and we click OK. All right. Okay, so I was saying that this illustration, we will create a student database. So in this particular database, we're going to create 3 main, you can say, functions. Okay. Firstly, the administrator will register the students. Secondly, students will register their courses, and thirdly, lecturers will enter the grades of the student. Of course, with the grades, then we can produce a report that summarizes the grades of the students. Okay, so when we build out the database, the first thing that we will create are the tables. Okay, of course, we can start off building tables, and then we create some queries or create some forms, and then we create other tables. All right, but usually it would need to start off with some tables. Okay, so first of all, we will look at the students table. All right, so we click on the home tab, and when we are at the home tab, there we can see different kinds of views of our objects on the left side. So there's a view button here. If you click on the view button, then we have two options. For tables, we have two options: line view and the data view will show the tables in a table form, and that is where we will enter our data, and we can also edit the table structure as well in terms of the columns. Okay. Whereas the design view is when we want to design the table in terms of identifying the fields, the columns that we want to create, and then what are the data types we want to define, the properties of the columns, right? And not and at that moment, we're not focusing on the data, on entering the data, but whether we are making the structure of the table. Okay, so we can edit the columns here. For example, in the students table, we can one of the column, the first column, we can rename this first column. Okay, to rename, okay, if we just double click on the ID name, so let's name this the first the column as student ID. We can on the next column ask us name, a column for the name of the students. So for a name, the data type is short text, so it can capture, we can enter the alphabetical and numerical characters inside the field. And short text meaning we don't have paragraphs, usually it's all in one line, so we use just a short text for the name. Okay, we have other data types, and we will look at the examples of those data types. We use we click on text, and then here we key the name of the field. So let's put it as student name. Right? Okay. Okay. So of course we can resize the column it does not change anything inside the database. It's just for the it changes the view only. All right. Okay. This is the we can edit the columns in this datasheet view, but to change the properties of the fields, we need to go to the design view. To go to the design view, either we click on top here when it shows the rulers symbol. It means that button is for looking at the design view. It toggles between the design view and the datasheet view. So click on that to open the datasheet view. Okay, so now we are in the to open the design view. Okay, so now we are in the design view. So in the design view, it shows a list of fields and the data type. Okay, so we have already created two fields, student ID and student name. So these fields will be the column of the tables. We add more columns by inserting the field names downwards. Okay, so the data type, let's change the student ID data type to another short text. Okay, why? Because if we're taking the UM student as an example, we want to manually insert the student ID, then we use short text. But if we use auto number, then we are not in control of the number assigned to that field name. Okay, it will be automatically generated in sequence. Okay, so let's change the data type for student ID into short text. Okay, let's add some more fields. So let's put in other fields such as student address, and here, because addresses, unless we split the address into address line 1, line 2, postcode, and so on, then if we split them up, then we may continue with short text. But here, let's assume we're just going to use the long address. So here probably it's better for us to use long text for the student address. And then you can insert student email, and then again this could be a short text. You can have a number field. Okay, we'll use it the number field later on. Okay, so at the moment, let's keep it this way. Okay, and let's save this. Okay, and close it. Okay, so at the moment we can see on the left side, we see that we only have one table at the moment. Okay, so let's create other tables. So inside the database of the student database, then of course we will have a list. We need to have table for the courses. Let's first create a table for programs. Okay, because students will take programs, will register for programs. So let's create a table for program. So to create a table, on the create tab, and then we have a couple of options for the table. We can create a table to look straight away into the datasheet view. If you want to go to the database, the table design view, then click on table design. Okay, we will not be touching on SharePoint list. Okay, so let's click on table design. Okay, now it's creating a second table, and we can straight away enter the field names of this table. Okay, let's name the first field name as program code. So again, this table is about programs. Okay, so let's name the field as program code. Data type is short text. Okay, so program code, for example, we could put let's say of business administration, having the program code as BBA. Okay, maybe some sort of a program abbreviation, but because we want to identify each program by a certain code that is easily remembered, and it identifies each program uniquely, so we can use the program code field. Okay, of course we have the program name. This is so that we can enter the full name of the program. So again, we could use a short text for this. We can have a program duration, and duration, because it's in years, then we use a number. Okay, you have some properties that we can change, or we can create the option. Okay, at the moment let's only have one. And now when we try to save, click save on the top left corner, and then we name the table as programs. It's a programs table. Click OK, and then it will ask us that there is no primary key defined. Okay, so we need to have a key. What do we mean by a primary key? Okay, for all the, basically for most or all of the tables that we store in our database, we need to have a primary key. So what is a primary key? It is one of the fields of within that table that will be used to uniquely identify each record in that table. So for example, in this program table, we will list a number of programs inside UKM, for example. Okay, and we want to identify each program by a field name. Okay, by some field that can be used to uniquely identify each of the programs. So that field that will be used to uniquely identify each program, that is called a primary key. Okay, and so if you want to identify each of the records, easily identify the records, then you will need a primary key. So let's handle on this. Let's cancel. Do you want to create a primary key now? We just say no, but then we will identify ourselves what will be the primary key. So a primary key, a good candidate for a primary key is something that is can be used to uniquely identify each record. Okay, and it is not the field is not long. Okay, it has a certain a standardized format, and the number unique. Associate this field name as a primary key, then click on the field name, and then there's a primary key button on top left. So click on that. Key sign will appear. So let's save that. Okay, and close it. Okay, let's create our third. We click on it, and then on table 9, name we can say the primary key for courses table would be the course code. Each course can be identified by the course code. So let's enter short text. Okay, here we can even and the properties for even further. So for course code short text, we know that all courses in UKM will only have, for example, 8 digits. So we can change the field size to 8. Okay, all right. Other things here, we change the field size in the field properties at the bottom here. We have the field size, format, and so on. At the moment, let's just say change the field size to 8. Okay, next will be the course name, of course. Okay, we have each course will have a name. So for name, we will use a short text. Okay, we don't specify the field size because we are not sure. Some courses may have longer names, so let's just leave it as that. And then we have each course will have a credit hours. Okay, credit hours is very important because when we want to calculate the the final grade of the students for the semester, the credit hours of each course will be used for that calculation. Okay, so credit hours will be a number data type. Okay, it's a number. Okay, because credit hours, the course that we're taking now is has 3 hours, so 3 is a number. Okay, we can apply some calculation on the number, right? And we can specify even further in the field properties down here. Field size, for example, it is a long integer, where we don't need a long integer, just a normal integer is fine, because credit hours at most will be 12 credit hours. Okay, so it is a normal integer. And decimal places, when we say it's an integer, then there shouldn't be any decimal places. In fact, if we want to further specify, we can say that there is no decimal places. So click on the field, on the decimal places field, and then put in 0. All right. And again, before we save, might as well we identify which of these fields should be the good candidate for the primary key. So the field that will be the best to identify our courses uniquely will be the course code. Each course will have unique course codes. Okay, so click on course code and click on primary key. All right, and then save. Then save it as courses. Okay. All right. So let's look at what are the tables that we need to create. Okay, let's create a semester table. All right. So why do we need a semester table? Because students will take courses at different semesters. Okay, so we need to have a semester table, so that when we identify the course that students will take, we will also assign the semester in which the students will take it. Okay, so let's create a table, a semester table. Okay, we just click on the so that we want to go into the design view. Okay, table name, let's name this as semester. Click OK. Name this as semester. You can use semester code. Okay, so for semester code, let's say we want to create a more meaningful code for semester. Okay, let's just create the other fields first. Okay, we have semester code, and then we have the actual semester, the semester number. Okay, let's just call it a semester, that's fine. And maybe the session. Okay, because there are multiple semesters in a session. Okay, so semester, we change it into a number, because semesters usually in number 1, 2 or 3. Okay, semester 1, semester 2 or semester 3. For session, okay, session, sometimes we could be written in this particular format. Usually UKM, they use this format. For example, session, this session will be 2023 slash 2024. So when you have this kind of formatting, so if you use this kind of formatting, then we need to use the short text data type, because although it looks like a number, but the slash there indicates a character other than a number, so we need to use a short text instead. Okay, so let's use short text. Okay, and some other properties that we can define for short text is the input mask. So if we always want the user to enter the session in this kind of format, okay, there are 4-digit number, and then there's a slash, and then another 4-digit number, then we can actually define, or we can guide the user to enter the data format by using what we call as input mask. Okay, here input mask. Okay, so to define input mask, click on the input mask field in the field properties, and click on the there's a button on the right, okay, button with the three dots. Click on it. Okay, let's save the table first. Let's save it, and let's save this. Okay, okay, so it's saved. Then here it is suggesting several input masks. Okay, so these formatting has certain input mask, okay, because it requires certain formatting of the data. Okay, let's use this one, the short date here, like the closest that match our format that we want. Okay, just click on it and then click next. All right, remove everything, just write 999/9999. Okay, that's just showing that there will be 4-digit numbers, and then a slash, and then another 4-digit numbers. We can and placeholder character is the cursor, the character that is shown when our cursor is in the field when we want to key in the data. So for example, we can try it here. When we enter the cursor here, okay, it will show the placeholders. There's 4 placeholders, and then a slash, and then another 4 placeholders. So here we can, for example, 2023 and 2024 in the format that it is required. Okay, next. Okay, how do you want to store the data? Okay, we will we want to keep the slash, so we take this one with the symbol mask. Okay, and click next. All right, finish. Okay, so now it puts input mask there. All right, okay. So for semester code, now we're going back to semester code. For semester code also, we want to show a semester code that is easy for us to recognize which semester it is referring to and which session. So again, for data type, we changed auto number into short text. Okay, and then the input mask, we also put input mask. We want the formatting to be something like, if it's a semester 3, then we want to put a 3, and then we want to put a dash, and then we want to put something similar to this formatting. So we want to have something like this. Okay, we want to have something like this. All right, so to get this kind of formatting, again, we go back to input mask in the field properties. Click on input mask. Okay, we have saved the table. All right, now let's even if we don't take let's take short date. Next, and here just replace everything. So let's type in 9 to represent that we are entering, and we should be entering a number, a 1-digit number, so only 9, and then a dash, and then another 4-digit number, so 9999, and then a slash. We want a slash, and then another 4-digit number. All right, so we want it to be in that kind of date. Let's click next, and we want it in the format with the symbols. All right, so click on that one and click on finish. All right, let's save this. Okay, let's look at how it works now. Okay, from here we are in the design view. We can go back to look at it from the datasheet view. Let's click on view. Okay, so this is the datasheet view. There are 3 columns. Okay, there are 3 columns. Okay, let's say we want to put in the first semester for this session. So first semester, the code that we want to show, the code that we want to key in is 1, and then it goes to the, after the dash, 2023, and then 2024. Okay, 2024. Okay, And then here in the second field, we want to identify which semester of the year. So it's the first semester of the year. And then the session, again, we want to enter 2023 and 2024. Okay, let's enter some more data. So to enter to go to the next row, just press on tab. Okay, then it will go to the next row. So let's make the next code to be next semester code to be 2023 2024, and then press tab, it will go to the next row, then to the next cell, next column, and this is semester 2, and then tab 2023 2024. Okay, let's do it until the third semester, 2023 2024. Semester, we put it as semester 3, and session is 2023 2024. Okay, so we have some data there. All right, okay. We've done four tables now, so let's create our fifth table, which is the grade lookup. So why do we need a grade lookup table? Because when in our database, we want the lecturers to be able to key in the grade of for each student in their subjects. So usually the lecturers will enter the grade as in A, B plus, and so on, C minus, all those things. Okay, but when we want to generate the GPA, the grade point average for the semester of that student, then we need to have the grade point. So to get the grade point, then we need to have a grade lookup. We need to create a grade lookup so that it will look up from the grade given by the lecturer. It will look for the actual value for the grade. So for example, an A would have the value of 4. It will be a 4 grade point. A minus will be 3.67, and so on. Okay, so let's create that table. So again, click on the create button and click table design. All right, so the first field will be just grade. Okay, and this will be a short text, and because grades will only be A minus, C plus, and all those things, so it will be only two characters. So we might as well specify that the field size is only 2. All right, the field size is 2. Okay, and then the actual grade point. So like I said, the grade point for A will be 4, and so on. The grade point for A minus will be 3.67. So because the grade point will be a number, okay, it will be 3.7, and so on. So we need to choose the data type to be number. Okay, let's control the formatting. So the field size, we cannot make it as a long integer, because integers are numbers that don't have decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, those are integers, but 1.5 is not an integer. Okay, so we can't use the integer field size. Okay, so to change it, click on the field size property. Okay, so you have byte, you have integer, long integer, you can have single, double, or decimal. Okay, let's use the decimal. Okay, so decimal, again, here you can also specify. Okay, so formatting, we can use the fixed formatting. Okay, we can use general, we can use fixed. We want to show at any time, we want to show only 2 places. So we can use we can choose the decimal places to 2. Okay, Precision, we can let it be. Okay, we can let it be 18. Scale, let's put it 2. All right, I think we've done with that. Okay, grade should be a primary key for this for the tables, for the grade lookup table. Okay, so click on primary key for on grade, and then save the table. Let's save it as grade lookup. Okay, because we want to look up the grade point on grade. Okay, click OK. Okay, let's enter some the basic data for grade lookup. Okay, just change it to the datasheet view. Click on right here. So this is datasheet view. Okay, so the grade based on information from UKM. Okay, grade A is 4 points. Okay, grade A minus is 3.67, and so on. Okay, B plus is 3.33, and then B is 3.0, B minus is 2.67, C plus is 2.33, C is 2, C minus is 1.67, D plus is 1.33, and then it would be D, but after D is an E, and E has a 0 grade point. Okay, so this is the grade point. Particularly, we will end this particular video here, and then we'll continue with illustrating the basic database relationship concept in the next video.